Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer Niggle. I am the owner and the creator of the Body by Jenny Bar program, and today I'm going to tell you all about how I cured my adult cystic acne. So if that sounds good to you, stick around and let's get started right now. So I really just want to start this video off by saying that I have been through this for a very long time, and I know how absolutely frustrating this can be, how it can stop your entire life. It can keep you from wanting to see your friends and your family. It's something that can make you feel depressed. It's something that can make you feel isolated, and it can oftentimes make you feel very helpless and hopeless. Acne is something that can really come about anytime that you're experiencing a lot of hormonal changes. This can sometimes happen in adolescence, but a lot of times this happens in adulthood. And that's where it can become extremely frustrating because you feel like you've already surpassed that childhood, you're in adulthood, and now all of a sudden you're having all these terrible breakouts. And sometimes it's even more frustrating when it's cystic acne because it's underneath the skin and it's very hard to treat. So throughout my entire years of junior high and high school, I didn't really have a ton of breakouts. I would get them here and there, but they weren't anything that was too, life altering or anything that really stopped me from being social. It wasn't until I turned about 22-ish that I started getting really terrible cystic hormonal acne, and it was literally stopping my life. It was keeping me from wanting to see my friends and family. It was keeping me from wanting to just do regular activities like going to the grocery store. I wanted to hide all the time. There was nothing that I could find that would help it. I would get it all around my jawline right here, and it would be so deep under the skin that it would hurt when I touched it. I hated looking at it in the mirror, and then I would get a little bit around like my mouth and my chin area. I struggled with this day in and day out. It was so depressing. It was literally, like I said, changing my entire life. I didn't want to look people in the eye because I just felt like all they were seeing was my acne. At that time, I was actually living in San Francisco, and I had called my mom and dad, and I said, look, I really want to go see a dermatologist. I want to get a handle on this. I went and saw, in fact, 2 different dermatologists at the time that recommended that I get on Accutane. And if you've ever heard of Accutane, or maybe you have taken Accutane, it's a whole process. There's a lot of things. You have to sign your life away, basically, especially if you're a woman, saying that you're not going to get pregnant. You have to go through a lot of tests. This really is a kind of a scary process. And at the time, I just really wanted to try and find a different, more natural, holistic route. Just didn't want to put anything into my body that could potentially be harmful to me. The dermatologist that I ended up going with suggested that I take an oral steroid and also an oral antibiotic. Now, I did take this for a long time with little stints of breaks and then also getting back on it when it would stop working. But honestly, it didn't do a ton, and the steroids that they were giving me made me have terrible sleep. It would oftentimes make me feel jittery. It was a horrible situation, and it really wasn't doing a ton for the acne. I was still getting it in the same places, and sometimes the acne would be so bad and so painful under the skin, especially, like I said, right here, that I would have to get injections that were painful and hurt. I would have to do this a couple times a month. I was reaching like a point where I just felt hopeless and like nothing was ever going to change. So this entire situation continued to happen. It went on for years and years up until my 30s. I saw multiple dermatologists. I went to skin specialists in San Francisco. I went to skin specialists in other places. We moved to the Central Coast in 2012. And once again, I did the same thing. I saw multiple dermatologists. I saw my primary care physician. I did everything I could. And it wasn't truly until I discovered the benefits of apple cider vinegar that truly changed my skin. I completely changed my diet. I'm going to tell you guys more about all of that right now. So without going too in depth about my background, I actually was teaching fitness classes at the time. I still teach fitness classes, but we won't get into all that right now. A very good friend and client of mine is a food scientist, and she actually turned me on to apple cider vinegar. She recommended that I take an oral apple cider vinegar, and she actually recommended Nature's Truth. She said that they are a very good company, they have great reviews, and they actually have a very high potency with their apple cider vinegar product. So I trusted her. She said, look, you're gonna need to take this multiple times a day, and you're gonna need to be consistent with it, shown that it will help cure acne from the inside out. So this was bringing me so much hope, and I went straight down to CVS after I taught that class, and I bought up all the Nature's Truth apple cider vinegar I could find literally on the shelf, and that began my whole journey of changing my skin. And really, I feel having the best skin of my life now. I'm almost 41. I'm gonna be 41 in 2 weeks. And I'm so very thankful that I found out about apple cider vinegar when I did, because like I said, it's completely changed my skin. I very, very rarely get any breakouts. I might get a few around, a certain time of the month, but it's very, very rare these days that I get breakouts. I'm so thankful for it. I do take about 6 pills a day. I'll take 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, 2 around dinner time if I forget, sometimes before bed. And I have been so diligent about the process of doing this for the past 5 years. It's become part of my daily routine, taking my apple cider vinegar, a healthy and active lifestyle, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the food changes I made. Okay, so in conjunction with taking the apple cider vinegar, I also made some lifestyle changes. Now, I've always been a pretty healthy eater. I like vegetables. I like to eat very healthy and clean, but I do love sugar and I do love dairy. So whenever I eat a ton of dairy or I eat a ton of sugar, I will get a lot of flare-ups. I try not to eat a ton of dairy anymore. I try not to eat a ton of sugar anymore. I'm very mindful about that. And I do notice when I add that stuff back into my diet that I will see some skin changes. Another thing that I did change as far as internally, as far as the foods I was eating, was incorporating a lot more veggies into my diet. I tried to eat a lot more spinach and carrots and just things that are really good for your body and good for your overall health. In the mornings, a lot of times I'll make a smoothie, something that's quick and easy. And I think I'll put my recipe in the description box so you guys can follow it if you want to. I added in coconut oil to my diet. So anytime I cook or make anything, I just use coconut oil instead of any kind of other oil. That's very healthy for you and it's good for your skin. You want to work on the problem from the inside out. A lot of the topical creams that I was putting on my face and a lot of the face washes and makeups I was using were making things 10 times worse, but my skin couldn't heal because the problem was actually coming from the inside. I also incorporated a lot of turmeric, and I'm going to give you guys also a fun little face mask that you can make. It's super simple. I would just take some turmeric powder and mix it with organic raw honey, mix it with a spoon in a little bowl, and I would apply it to my face. Honey is excellent. It's antibacterial, it's antimicrobial, and it actually will clear your skin. It seems so strange because you think of putting something like honey on your face and you feel like it's going to have the opposite effect, but it really does help. And turmeric is actually great for anti-inflammatory. So when you mix those two together, it's a perfect combination. Okay, so now I just want to talk about how I changed how I was caring for my skin. So I talked about clearing it up from the inside, but I also want to talk about topical treatments. So these are 2 of my very favorite products right now, and these are K-beauty products. And if you've watched any of my videos in the past, I am a lover of anything Korean beauty. I feel like they have such a solid product. I can find it at any store like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Ross, and most of the time it's anywhere between $3.99 to $5. So I also switched to K-beauty products probably about 5 years ago when I found the apple cider vinegar. These products were just things that I stumbled upon and was like, why not give it a try? Most of these products have hyaluronic acid in them, which is great for anti-aging, and they're very gentle on your skin. And I will actually try to link these. You never know what you're gonna find when you go there. But as long as I look on the back and I see that it is made in Korea, I can pretty much trust that it's going to be a decent product. A lot of times with acne, you often get dry skin because you're putting things on your skin to try to dry up the acne, and then it really creates a whole other problem of dry skin. I really love this one. It's very simple. It's very basic. It's a sleeping mask. It's called Rose Radiance. This one's by Bonnie Hill, also a K-beauty product. This one is on clearance, you guys. It was $2.99 at Marshall. I love this product and I use it every single night on my neck, on my face. It never breaks me out. I also just wanted to recommend, if you feel like taking a turmeric supplement, if you don't want to put it like in a face mask, or if you don't want to add it to your cooking, you can also just take it just like this in pill form. And I also will take this in conjunction with my apple cider vinegar just for a little bit extra on the inside. And like I said, I'll do my turmeric and my honey face mask. Like I mentioned, turmeric is so great for being anti-inflammatory. And then this apple cider vinegar brand cannot be beat in my opinion. This is the Nature's Truth 1200 milligram apple cider vinegar. It is so good. It's catching on. Every time I go to CVS, they are almost completely sold out of this product. It usually is in my area 2 for 1. So you buy one, you get one free. So it looks like this, 1200 milligrams. I would highly suggest adding this in to your daily regimen if you're having any kind of acne, hormonal acne, cystic acne, because this has been the game changer for me. So like I said, if you want to make the face mask and try that out, I just have a little Trader Joe's turmeric here, and then I have some raw natural organic honey. You just mix the two together. You can go a little bit more on the honey, a little bit less on the turmeric, a little bit more on the turmeric, and a little bit less of the honey. There's no real science here. I've seen a lot of face masks out there that also incorporate a little bit of milk and sometimes some yogurt. Get creative with it. There's lots of different recipes online. I'll make sure to link a couple of them below for you guys, and maybe some videos that you can watch. Such a hydrating way and great way to go ahead and clear up your acne. You can do it once, twice, 3 times a week. So I would definitely recommend trying this. The next thing I want to talk about is makeup. I was struggling so hard to find any type of foundation that would work. And you know, when you have acne, you often want to cover it up. You don't want to go out in public without makeup, but then you put the makeup on and it just makes the acne worse. And it's just this never-ending vicious cycle of just acne and covering and acne and covering. So it wasn't until I found this Bare Minerals foundation. I love all the Bare Minerals products. I feel like they're so good and they're so clean and they never tend to break me out at all. I can wear them all day. They stay in place and I feel like they have a really nice finish. This one has a really nice glowy kind of luminous effect to it. This one's the original liquid mineral foundation by Bare Minerals. This one I also found, I believe this was a discount find. I found it at Marshall's for $14.99, but the price point is not too bad if you go to Sephora. It's only around $24 to $27, somewhere in that range. Highly suggest finding a foundation or a makeup that works for your skin type. It might be a little bit of trial and error, but going with a more natural product is always the way to go. And if you have days where you can go makeup free, that's always the best option. Let your skin breathe. Make sure you're washing your face at night because it will only aggravate it if you're leaving makeup on and then going to sleep with it. But truly just try to find a makeup that will work for your skin. Very last product that I did start taking during the pandemic was vitamin C and also zinc. And zinc is very good for your immune system. It's very good for keeping you healthy from the inside out and building that immune system. Vitamin C is something that we also know is good for our immune system. And I've been taking vitamin C and zinc in conjunction with my apple cider vinegar and my turmeric. As I mentioned, I feel better about taking a more natural approach to it. As always, consult with a dermatologist. I am not a dermatologist. Consult with your physician. But I would highly suggest to try the apple cider vinegar, changing out to the coconut oil when you cook, taking in a lot of good, healthy foods for your body, trying to reduce your stress level. I know that that is so challenging in the current state of the world and how we're living these days. But stress is definitely something that can manifest externally, especially when we're holding it all inside. So try to get some regular exercise, drink lots of water, try making a few of these changes in your diet. You guys, I have been there. I have struggled with this for most of my adult life. And I know how challenging it can be to get a hold on it. I hope that this video was helpful for you. I wanted to share my experience because I have seen a huge drastic change in my skin. I have another video that I'm going to put out for you guys and how I actually got rid of my acne scarring because I had a ton of acne scarring from the cystic acne. And I would love to bring you any videos you might want to see from me in the future. So if you are new here, thank you for being here. If you are a returning subscriber, I love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting my work. Until next time, I love you so much and I'll see you soon.